Alright, so this should be the first video of the year. I haven't done any videos yet, and I will kind of explain why and everything. So, of course it's a new year. Of course I didn't kind of just about stop doing videos after I lost a bunch of the homers. It wasn't because I had given up on racing or anything. It's just, you know, without them there wasn't a lot to do videos of. And I've just been so busy with school and work and everything, I just haven't done much. And but it has given me time. Be quiet, chicken. It has given me time to think about what I want to do this coming year. And instead of doing kind of what I was doing before was kind of like a vlog. I wasn't really updating every day, but it was kind of like a vlog. A lot of short videos just kind of showing you what was going on. But I'm not really planning on doing that very much this year. I might, kind of, for some things. I'll explain that in a moment. But what I will do is I'm planning on doing some longer videos. They're just more of an, kind of an, not necessarily educational, kind of more along the lines of an educational type thing. Not just what I'm doing every day. Like, for instance, one of the first videos I was planning on doing is I have a friend who rehabilitates wild birds, and she also owns a parrot rescue as well. And on top of that, she owns a pet store, so she's very busy. But my first video was I was gonna go over there and kind of do something along the lines of an interview with her. Kind of show off the parrot rescue. Show the different parrots and things. Of course, I've got the parakeets, but I don't have a lot of experience with parrots. So I thought that would make for a neat video, and then more in the spring. See, I was planning on doing that back in January. And then more in the spring, which would be here in the next couple of months, go back and do a video on wild birds, because she also rehabilitates wild birds. So that was going to make for 2 videos. And then other things like that. I never really did do the whole start to finish thing with a race, so I was going to take y'all to a club, maybe for an old bird race, packing up the birds, go back when we're looking at all the times and everything, figuring out the winner, all that different stuff, kind of explain it, which I kind of did in more than one video, but just kind of make all that into one, condense all that into one video, is what I was planning on doing. Just stuff like that. Hopefully go to a couple of auctions, maybe some chicken shows, that kind of thing. I bred my rabbit. My rabbit's about to have babies, so I could do something along those lines. I'm going to try and stick mostly to the birds, but not necessarily just pigeons. Of course, I'm surrounded by chickens at the moment. I got the loft here in the back. But the reason I haven't done any of that yet, trying to keep an eye on the time. See, my camera, it cuts off after 10 minutes, and I used to really like that because when I was younger, I got my first camera when I was probably, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old. So I used to like that this camera did that because before I had this camera, my old camera didn't do that, and I would all the time be forgetting to turn it off, and it would just run until the battery died. With this one, it cuts off after 10 minutes, and if I accidentally leave it on, it'll cut itself off and not kill the battery, which is great if I'm gone somewhere and don't have an extra battery or something. I'd forget. You know, it doesn't ruin my ability to take pictures, but it doesn't work very well for this, taking the videos, because I can only do like 10-minute segments at a time, and I have to be trying to watch it. In fact, I better get up and check and see how long it is now. See, we're at just over 4 minutes, so in about 6 minutes I'll have to start it recording again. So someone had mentioned getting a better camera before, and I would like to do that, and eventually I'm sure I will. But getting a new camera is not really in the budget right now, and as of the moment I don't make any money off of these YouTube videos. As of the time of this video, I'm still a minor. I'm not really going to tell you how old I am or what my birthday is or anything, but I mean, I will be turning 18 before too much longer, so of course not going to put too much information out on the internet, but you know, so right now I can't what that means, I can't do ads on my videos and things like that. So I don't make any money off of these. I've just been doing it for fun. So it's not the kind of thing where I have revenue coming in from the videos, and I want to use some of that to make my videos better, which would mean things such as getting a new camera. So that's not really on the table right now. But what I was going to do is, I have a friend who does have a lot better camera, and she's got a couple GoPros and things, and even though I would consider myself pretty good with photography, she's even a better photographer than I am, and she has a lot more experience editing pictures, but she also has a lot more experience editing videos. So I was going to try and get her to film some of these things, and since it wasn't going to be a vlog type thing, I would probably for the most part be going places and taking these videos, basically take her along with me and have her film for me. And then on top of that, she's also going to be making me an intro for my videos, so instead of starting out on the picture of Spot, one of my pigeons, wearing that bow tie, which is an awesome picture, but instead of just starting out like that, which is how this one will start, I'm actually going to have a video intro with a song to it. But I'm still, I go to school, I have a job, she goes to school, she has a job, so we both stay very busy with those and everything else that we have to do. So it just hasn't happened yet, and that's the reason I was waiting, is I was going to do my first video of the year with the intro, but that just hasn't happened yet. So hopefully that will happen soon. Maybe get that done over spring break. She wants to actually come. I sent her some pictures and videos and things that I've taken throughout during the past few years, but she actually wants to come do some videoing herself, which I'm all for. The quality videos that she can take will be much better than mine, and her and I, two heads are better than one, both deciding what angles we want, what we want to video and everything. So that's good. I look very forward to that. The only problem is that adds on to the amount of time it's going to take, because I've got to get her over here to do that. So hopefully she and I are gonna get that done before too much longer. I'm sure it will get done. I just don't know how long it'll take. So that's why I haven't done any videos yet. The reason I'm making this video now instead of waiting to start until she's got that intro done is pretty much just because of this comment. I may be pronouncing this wrong. Can you mentor? I think mentor. It would be Keanu space mentor. I may be pronouncing it completely wrong. I think they said they live in Africa. So let me see. Brought my laptop out here so I can actually look at these things. Maybe. I should get Wi-Fi from here, but it's not wanting to work, so I can't check on that. Anyways, the comment that was left was, can you make a video on what color birds you need to breed a specific color bird for? Example, blue bar plus red check equals silvers. So, and then I'd really basically just said, yeah, I think I could do that. Do you have any suggestions as for what kind of things you want? So this would be dealing with genetics again. The biggest hindrance in doing a video like that is from region to region, country to country. The names for different genetics kind of vary. So it's just the names that kind of make it difficult. So sometimes someone left a comment the other day, and I would say who it was, except that evidently I'm not getting Wi-Fi. I would get it with my phone from out this far, but my laptop's not picking it up. I would say the name, except that I can't pull it up to look, but they asked me if I had ever bred lemons, and they were talking about extreme dilutes. I'm not 100% sure what they meant by an extreme dilute, so I'm going to start this over. Alright, so like I said, that's why I want to get someone else to film this for me. But they were talking about an extreme dilute, and I'm not exactly sure what they mean by that. I think they're referring to what I would call yellow, which would be a recessive red pigeon with the dilute gene, which would make it a yellow khaki color. They might have been talking about an ash red bird that's diluted. The name lemon to me sounds more like it would go with yellow, but when they said extreme dilute, it makes me wonder if they're talking about an ash red that is diluted. That would make a really light colored bird. So, and you know who you are if you're watching the video. I would pull up your username and just say who left the comment. Like I said, can't get to pull up at the moment. So you can just comment and clarify that if you like. But that's the problem. So I thought about doing a video with the birds that I have, but I don't have that many genes. This person asked about, they suggested a grizzle, a dun, which would be a dilute, I believe. That's what I would call it. I would call a dilute dun, so I'm assuming that's what they mean by that. And white flights without any birds that have white flights. So I can kind of clarify the white flights one right now. White flights are caused by a piebald mutation, and it is just that, a mutation. So what you could do is have a piebald bird, so basically a pigeon that has white on it, just a splotch of white somewhere, and breed it, and that white's gonna kind of move around. But once it starts getting into the flight feathers and you start getting white flights, only breed birds with white flights together, and eventually you could get what you're wanting like that. As far as just taking a bird with no white on it whatsoever, if you breed enough together, eventually that mutation will pop out, I'm sure, but there's no telling how many birds you would have to breed together before you would get that to happen. So it's possible, but it's not something you're just going to set out to do on purpose. It might happen eventually. It probably would happen eventually if you bred enough. And I'm sure that there are people watching who have been breeding pigeons a lot longer than I have, who have bred two colored birds with no white on them together and gotten a piebald bird. But it's not something where it's just happens all the time. It's kind of rare. So you could do it, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's not something you could do on purpose very easily. As far as grizzles, I've got grizzles in here. I don't have any dilutes. I would actually really like to. And I think I know a guy who has some rollers that are diluted, and I could probably get one from him to breed, or I could take y'all over there and show y'all some of his birds. So I was thinking about if y'all would recommend birds that you'd like to know the genetics behind what you breed to what to get that. For example, breeding an Andalusian indigo to another Andalusian indigo would produce some Andalusian indigos, but it would also produce a homozygous indigo, and I don't know what the exact name for that is, but it would be two genes of indigo, and that makes them kind of a slate gray color. So that would be an example. If y'all want to leave comments kind of recommending that kind of thing, I can go ahead and start compiling that together to see what kind of birds I might try to get together. And again, this would be your opinion. I'd kind of like to know what y'all would rather me do. I could just go to people's lofts that have these birds and just make all the segments into one video, but different locations. I could try and see if they'll let me just have some of these birds just for a video, kind of bring them all here, and then give them all back, but I don't know who would be okay with that and who wouldn't. And there's just a little bit of danger as far as illness and bringing the birds together and then sending them back to their lofts. Or then another thing I thought about would be that I could just try and get some of these birds and breed them together and actually show you the results. But the problem is, eventually I'm going to build another loft, but I'm not necessarily planning to do that right now. That'd be more in like the next few years kind of thing. And I'd like to build a bigger loft and kind of replace some of the lofts I have. I'm not necessarily looking to add space for keeping pigeons, and I'm not really looking to grow my flock very much. I would like to have more rollers than I have right now, and I am going to breed out a few homers just to have them, really, not very many. So I'm not looking to grow my flock very much because, again, it takes up space, they eat, takes up money. I'm just about to the point where I'm comfortable with the amount of birds that I have. So, of course, that doesn't mean I have to keep the offspring. I could sell them. I actually have a baby right now that I'm hand raising to sell as a pet. and it's the most frustrating thing ever because this particular pigeon, it doesn't want to eat, and there's a long story to that. It's been rough with this one. I mean, it's doing okay. It's kind of skinny, but it's doing okay. But it's just so frustrating trying to feed it. But I could do that with them. I don't necessarily have to keep the offspring, so it's not like I can't do it. And I would keep some of them. So depending on how many recommendations I get for colors, you know, if I only get 2 or 3, I might could just obtain those birds, breed them, show you the results. If I get 10 or 15 different recommendations, that's just not really feasible. So I'm really just looking for y'all to comment on this video and kind of let me know what you want to see. Also, as far as throughout the year, what? Chicken's being loud. But so I really want to know what y'all want to see, especially since see if I can't get the chicken to be quiet. But so I'd really like to know what y'all would like to see, and you can just let me know. As far as videos throughout the year, as far as the genetics with these birds pertaining to this particular comment, and I'll make that into a video or a series depending on how many recommendations as far as genetics I actually get. And that doesn't just have to be colors. If y'all would like to see, like, I don't know whether like fantails, I don't know how dominant or recessive the multiple feathers are when them raising up. Same thing would go with powders and croppers. I don't know how dominant or recessive the mutation that causes their neck to swell up is. So, you know, it can also be things as far as form. Maybe muffs. I don't particularly want to do too much with muffs just because muffs are hard to keep clean. I have a chicken with muffs and that's hard enough. I don't do pigeons with muffs. But I might. I'd like to work with ice pigeons. I thought about getting those for a long time. So I'm really just looking for y'all to give me feedback at this point. I've kind of rambled on a little bit, let y'all know what I've been thinking about for the next, this next year. Once summer rolls around, I'll be able to, and I'm not in school anymore, I'll have a lot more free time to be able to do these videos. So y'all won't be able to expect too much until after the school year's over, though I'm sure I can go ahead and start doing some stuff. But yeah, so at this point I'm just looking for feedback. And I appreciate everyone who's been commenting and wanting me to post videos. I haven't given up or on the videos or on the homers or anything, but it's just not going to be feasible for me to raise and try and race homers while I'm in college, and I am planning to go to college. So that's why I'm not doing anything with homers, and without the training, there's not as much going on here at home. Though I am going to show you something in just a moment that I think y'all will find kind of cool. So I'll go ahead and show that to you, and it'll also give me a moment to think about anything I haven't said yet, and then that'll be it for this video. Alright, this is what I was going to show y'all. Things don't look too much different in here. I really haven't done much, haven't even finished putting doors on all these nest boxes, but I'm not really breeding very much anyways. Of course, all the birds have got here rollers except for this homer down here, the pair of homers. This would be Hershey's. Some of y'all recognize him. He's a recessive red. I used to think he was spread ash red. He's not. He's recessive red, piebald roller, and he's sitting on an egg. And I'll show that to you. This is what he's sitting on. Bring it into the light, maybe. I don't know how much a difference that makes. I don't know that y'all can tell. This egg is brown, and let me put it right here. I don't want to keep it out too long. Here's a pigeon egg. Here's the egg that I'm showing you. I'm going to put all these back. Don't want to mess with them any more than I need to. Of course, that egg is bigger and can be out of the nest longer, but again, there's not really much need to mess with them. Just want to show you. That is a banty chicken egg. Bantams are miniature breeds of chickens. There's only a few true bantam breeds. I think there's 6. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not as knowledgeable on the chickens as I am the pigeons, so if I'm wrong, y'all go ahead and correct me. But the father of that egg is a Seabright, a golden Seabright rooster. That is a true bantam. And I may be pronouncing this wrong, but the mother is I think it's called a Diuckles. I almost want to say uncle, but there's no N in it, Diakel's chicken, and I'll show you the mother. She's the one that flew up on my shoulder while I was talking to y'all just a minute ago. She laid that egg in our bathroom, actually. It was snowing here. It had rained, snowed, and sleeted, and it had just messed her feathers all up, and she has muffs, so her feet were bright red and everything. So I just decided to bring her inside for a little bit, warm her up, dry her out. She seemed to be doing fine. She flew up on my shoulder as I was walking into the house, so I just kind of let her come in with me, and I put her in the bathroom for a little while. And then I took her back outside after it stopped snowing and she was all dried off, and of course was cleaning up in there, because even though it wasn't too bad, she's a chicken, and so she made a little bit of mess in there. And I found the egg behind the toilet. So and I found a few eggs that she's laid in the past, but she doesn't have an actual nest box that she goes into, so I don't usually know where she's laying eggs or if she is laying any. But she laid that one behind the toilet in the bathroom. So I put it under the pigeons. I've candled it. It's alive and growing. I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to incubate it or not because it's kind of big, but the reason I gave it to them is because they have this small nest, and you can't see because he's sitting on it, but their nest is actually a really nice cup shape, whereas this guy, his nest is a bit flatter. So it just kind of, the walls come up around a little bit more. I just felt like it, kind of protected the egg from the elements a little better. And I figure they probably need all the help they can get, as large an egg as that is. But anyways, will it hatch? I don't know. Pigeon eggs, it takes 18 days for them to hatch. And I think chicken eggs, I think it's 21. That I may be wrong. I don't remember for sure. I've hatched them before. I know, I just can't remember. But anyways, I don't doubt that they'll sit on it long enough. Even though it'll be past 18 days, they regularly sit on infertile eggs and dead eggs longer than 18 days. So I don't have any doubts that he'll sit on it long enough. But are they turning it properly? I'm not sure. It's a big egg, so I don't know if they're able to turn it properly. So far, it seems to be doing fine, so I would say that they are, but I don't know that for sure. Even if they are turning it properly, they'll stop turning it around like 15 days or something. Don't quote me on that. But it'll be shortly before it hatches. But chicken eggs, they hatch later, and I can't remember for sure how long before they hatch chicken eggs have to stop being turned, but I'm pretty sure it's longer than that of a pigeon egg. So they'll probably stop turning it early. So I don't know what'll happen. And if it does hatch, will they try to feed it? Obviously, chickens are born being able to eat normal food. They're smaller than what their parents would be eating. They would still eat bugs and seeds and all that. They don't actually get fed by their parents, but I would imagine that the pigeons will try to feed it. And if they do, will it learn to eat like a baby pigeon? If it did, that would be really cool and helpful, because I wouldn't have to buy any baby chicken food, or at least not for a while. Will they do that? I don't know. If I had to guess, I would say that it's probably not going to learn to eat that way, but I would say they're probably going to try to feed it, but I'm not sure. So y'all can comment whatever you think is going to happen in the video, in the comments if you like. I can go ahead and tell you it's alive right now, and they've been incubating it for probably around a week and a half, maybe more like a week. I guess it's been about a week and a half probably. They've been incubating it. So y'all can let me know what you think is going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know that anyone's ever tried raising a chicken egg under a pigeon before, and of course I don't think they could raise an actual full-size chicken egg. That would be too large. But I don't know that either. So, could try that. I don't have a full-size rooster anymore. Got rid of the Americana rooster we had because it was getting too aggressive to be around my younger brother. So, I don't know. Maybe you could try that at some point if you all want to see it. I don't know. I'm sure I could get a fertile chicken egg. But anyways, so first we'll probably see how it goes with this one. I have no idea what will happen, so you can leave your comments and let me know. But again, just let me know what y'all want to see. I do appreciate the comments asking me to post videos. I'm glad y'all are interested and y'all want to see more. So just let me know. The more comments, the better. And hopefully I'll do a video again soon. And hopefully when I do another one, it'll be with a proper intro. Also, just as a side note, this satinette right here, behind the homer. If you can see, you'll recognize it probably as the one that I think is brown. I'm not positive of that, but I think it is actually brown, which is kind of cool. It actually did turn out to be a hen, and Willie, you'll all know who Willie is. He's got his nest down here. I'm not going to disturb him. He made a nest down there, and I didn't realize it until I was cleaning out the loft, and he had paired up with that satinette. So that satinette turned out to be a hen, and Willie's decided to be a father. So I guess we're going to see what happens. Third generation satinette roller cross after all. They kind of decided to do that on their own. So I don't know what that'll look like, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the babies, thinking about selling them. I'm also not opposed to giving pigeons away on my channel as long as I know that they're going to a place where they will be properly taken care of. The problem is I'm just not all that into shipping, mostly because I've never done it before, not because I'm against it. Though in the summer I would say it's probably just going to be too hot. But also I don't know how far away most of you guys are. I mean, that comment that I was just talking about, I think they said they were in Africa. Obviously I don't think I'm going to be able to ship to Africa. Probably not legal to ship to Africa. I don't know. But I don't know much about shipping. You know, not opposed to that, but I don't have any idea how far away y'all live. I live in North Carolina, so maybe if you also live in North Carolina or in the surrounding states, it's not like, you know, giving away an inanimate object that can be shipped anywhere in the world. These are animals with lives and feelings and, you know, needs. But yeah, I don't know. The more feedback, the better. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. This is the mother of that egg. This is the chicken. I think it's called a Diacolos. Those of you who are good with chickens will recognize it. Her name is Susie. She's pretty nice. She's pecking my hand. She's still nice though.